Song is called As Sure as I'm Sitting Here. It's not one of our best known songs, but it's one of my favorites, and I'm going to tell you why. Now, this song might sound like an inconsequential blues groove without much substance to it when you first listen to it. But it's really much more than that. It's a song about what the blues is really about. And what the blues is really about is the indisputable fact that we get some good times. And then again, we get some bad times in this life. Is that right? Now, this is useful information for people who might not know that yet. Some people don't know that yet. I mean, for instance, maybe you're young enough to think that there ain't going to be no bad times in your life. I mean, hey, by the way, you got your plan happening, you got your program working, you got it all together, you know what you're doing. I mean, you got this. What could go wrong? Right. Then again, on the other hand, see, because there's always the other hand, maybe you're old enough to think that there ain't going to be no more good times in your life. Is that possible? See, maybe you look like me when you get out of bed in the morning and the first word out of your mouth is, ow. Oh, yes, and I'm making it into the bathroom like a newborn giraffe. Just shaking and wobbling, hanging out and stuff. And at this point in the introduction, what I used to do in the past was go on to elaborate at length on the vicissitudes of being 75, which is what I am. Oh, I can talk about it. I can tell you all about it. If you got the time, I can tell you about my knees, my hips, if you want to take your choice, my back. Oh, yeah. If you got the time, I can tell you all about it. But instead of doing that, what I think I'm going to do is tell you another story about something that happened a long, long time ago. And I was playing with a blind keyboard player by the name of Dwayne Smith. Now, Dwayne was blind from birth, but he was only blind in the sense that he couldn't see with his eyes. Dwayne saw with his whole body. He could walk up to a wall and tell you when he was 2 feet from it because air pressure changed. He could walk down the hall from his footsteps. He could tell where the doors were and whether they were open or closed. He could walk into a room and snap his fingers and tell you whether the room was small or large, whether the ceiling was high or low. He was amazing. He didn't need anybody's help with anything. Well, this was a long time ago. And one night, Dwayne and Maurice and I were sitting in the lounge of the Riviera Hotel, which isn't even there anymore, in Las Vegas, having a couple of drinks. And this was before the time when smoking became as unpopular as it is indoors today, even in Las Vegas. And that room, well, it looked like it was on fire. Right? It really looked like it was on fire. Paul's microphone stand would have been mostly obscure. It was terrible. And at some point during the evening, I decided that I needed to complain about that. So I did. I said, dang, this is terrible in here, man. I'm not kidding you, man. This shit hurts. My eyes feel like a couple of scratched up ping pong balls. Dwayne turned his face to me and stared at me through that impenetrable wall of his shades. And he said 3 words. Are they working? Yeah. Yeah, Dwayne, yeah, they're working. Dwayne lifted his shades a little bit, showed me what was supposed to have been his eyes. They resembled eyes, vaguely, but they weren't eyes, they were walls, and Dwayne was on the other side. And he let me take that in for about 3 or 4 more seconds. Then he put his glasses back down on his nose and said, right? As if to say, I got your scratchy eyes right here. And he was right, wasn't he? Sure he was. Of course he was. Yes, indeed he was. What in the hell was I thinking of? complaining about scratchy eyes when I was sitting across the table from a blind man. And that's just one of the more egregious examples of stuff that I do way too much. Complaining about small things, little aches and pains, tiny things, when there are people all over this world who would trade their pain for mine without a moment's hesitation or a second thought. Right? You got the word. And I know that, I should know that. If we can all remember that, maybe we might be able to keep in mind the fact that life is short. And maybe we ought to not be quite so ungrateful all the damn time. All right? If we can do that, I think there's something big in it for all of us. In fact, I'm pretty sure there's something big in it for all of us. How sure am I? Why? Just as sure as I'm sitting here, just like the song said.
Hey, sit down.